minute to get tired of it.
It's a good Cajun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going there. I have not met the owners yet. I know you have, and
yeah,
I'm just stoked. Looking forward to it.
We have a pretty iconic place here in Tulsa, down on the Arkansas River, named Blue Rose Cafe. And Blue Rose Cafe back in the day was started by a guy named Tom Ditas. Tom is the dude that owns the place, Swamp House Tulsa, that we're going to be going to. That's his new endeavor. So Tom's a cool guy. I mean, really cool guy. Super. He thinks he's always got places that he knows that Tulsa's going to want to be in.
Yeah,
there's usually not places like that.
Yeah, because Blue Rose
it's a place that Tulsa needs.
It was outside the box when he opened that place up.
Yeah,
that was.
And then he opened the one up on Keystone Lake, and I mean, he's always just kind of providing the place that Tulsa needs. So I'm really excited to see what happens with Swamp House, because he usually knocks it out of the park on his business.
Now he does not own Blue Rose anymore.
No, negative. He does not. No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I heard it was owned by a group of investors. It's kind of sad to see that happen. I always liked that he owned that joint.
But you know what? Here's the thing: if you've got something that other people want and they're willing to pay you a price for it, well, you know what? That's a whole lot more money you made than when you started.
Yeah, that's true.
And even if you got to sign a non-compete clause for a little while or whatever, you know, so be it. You know, you kind of started one thing and you did good, but you know, now there's other places kind of similar to yours, and so it's time to go home and think outside the box and open something else up. And apparently this is it, because I had the opportunity to go there and did not last.
It's pretty amazing.
I thought about it, but I thought, nope, I want my opinion to be absolutely sincere when we get it. So not that my opinion counts, and when I say opinion, it's not that I'm going to get in front of the camera and break it down or anything like that. It just, you know, that initial thumbs up or thumbs down when your mouth is so full you can't speak. That's what I'm talking about. So, you know, that's what we look for too. You know, if you've got something that's just that insanely good, I want to see the look in your eyes on how insanely good that is. That's my goal.
Yeah. Well, in other 420 news, you guys, if you guys watch that show on YouTube, if you don't, you should, because we have a good time. But we've been touting this next episode that we'll drop, and we ran into something we haven't run into before in this production of this episode. So we're going to be a little bit late on it. It is coming. We just had it. I don't even know how to put this. Like, we got the footage back, and basically, there's no way to put it but the truth. That food was so epic. We went on and on about those tacos. That food was so epic that we didn't feel like we were going to do them justice with the footage we have. So we're actually going to keep the parts that we can, that we like, and the rest of it we just shit canned it, and we're going to go reshoot that to do them a little bit more justice in what we present to you guys when we show you this food that they make.
And I want to. If there's a law that I could make on this shooting, would be let's do the food almost at the very end, because literally it was like you go and eat a great meal and then go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Right? So we ate the crap out of these tacos, and they were just freaking amazing. And there was some more shooting I had to do, so I was wandering around, blowing up, shot that, blowing up, shot that, blowing up, shot that. You know. Didn't pay attention to the used condom that was on the ground. There really wasn't a used condom, but I'm trying to get my point across. There were a few shots in there that even both Shiner and I looked at, and I shot this thing, and man, it looked like it was going to be a good shot, and neither of us saw the push broom that was right in front of our face, standing right there. So. Yeah,
how did we miss that?
I don't know, but you know, I'm going to shoulder the blame for that one, because I should have seen it through the camera, and I did not. You know, I think, you know, no excuses by any means, but I was in awe of his smoker. So, my eyeballs were focused on that smoker, and it wasn't focused anywhere else. And it should have been. So, and he's right. The food was so good that some of the footage that we did just wouldn't do this food. And I would much rather take my time and go reshoot and put out a great product than to put out something mediocre, bomb-ass food. So,
yeah.
So there's a possibility, actually, that this episode comes Saturday may make it out before the other one.
Yeah, that is a possibility. We are going to get guys from Ember Smoke. That episode will come out this season, though. But, and you guys been watching 420. Pay attention, because we're going to start doing some new things in the post with it. We're going to start inching our way to a very new look with it. So you guys keep your eyes out, because it's going to change up a lot the next couple episodes. But between now and the end of the season, we're going to do a lot of new things.
Yeah, and don't be afraid of new. I'm 52, and sometimes I'm afraid of new. But here's the thing. No matter what you do in life, whether it's your job, let's say you're in auto racing or drag racing, doesn't matter what you do, there's always going to be new stuff that comes to the table. And if you stay with the old stuff, you're never going to win a race. You know what I mean? There's new techniques and new equipment and new ways of doing things out there. And
well, that's what I've said. I've said that on Instagram through some different quotes. You get outside your comfort zone. That's when you start growing as a person. You stay in your comfort zone, you ain't going to grow.
No,
I think that's half the deal with life, man. We're supposed to try to make ourselves grow and better ourselves. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get spun off on that. We actually, I've had more than one person contact us, and they keep bringing up a podcast episode of Live for the Greater Good. So live for the greater good and do epic shit. Those are the two requests we have for podcast episodes. So we need to try to work those in the future sometime, Donnie.
Yeah, and we actually promised that about 3 or 4 podcasts ago, do an episode just living for the greater good. Maybe pull up some examples of people doing just that. Somebody who took something from nothing and maybe benefited.
I'd like to hear from listeners.
Oh yeah, it'd be great.
I mean, I know, I don't expect you guys to want to call and brag about, but email us and brag about yourself. But I love hearing stories about people doing stuff for others that is completely, not something that wasn't requested. And I've said it before, and I still am working on it. I am going to put out a short film on Live for the Greater Good. So that's probably going to come, I would say, probably closer towards the end of the year.
It is much more comfortable to shoot out there now.
You ain't lying.
That's another thing. That's another thing we learned about 420 Eats. Don't film it in the summer.
It's a brutal summer in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Ooh, even a couple of weeks ago when we shot with Ember Smoke.
Oh man,
I had ember tears or ember sweat falling into my eye, and then my eye making ember tears falling down toward my mouth and dripping all over the place. And yeah, it was hot.
Ugly.
But I'm not gonna.
Which is funny.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put hot as an excuse. Mediocre camera work.
You think about the Oklahoma weather. That was not even 2 weeks ago, and probably going to be in flannels come Saturday.
Yeah.
Dixon flannel. If anybody's keeping score, Dixon flannel.
Mm-hmm. You spell that with a DIXXON. Dixon quality.com. Not that I'm selling
we get our
anything.
Flannels.
I'm not selling nothing for Dixon right now, or if I am, well, you're welcome, Dixon, because we love the shit out of your flannel shirt. They're comfortable, they're warm,
you can't wrinkle them.
No, and they're just cool as shit to look.
That's the biggest selling point.
Yeah, I mean, every color in the rainbow that you can think of flannel
is represented in some way.
Bet. I've got one that's orange and black, and I love it. I've got one that's green and black and white, and I love it. I have one that's all black, and I dig it. And I have one that's covered with pot leaves all over the place, and I dig that one too. I love.
Wait, you
Dixon.
got that all black one?
Yeah, I got a Dixon work shirt.
I was on the website yesterday. I was looking at that one. I was like, "What? Wear that this winter?" I'm just trying to find a reason to get it.
Well, yeah. The black work shirt I got was
work shirt. Man, I got my eye on that tan with the black pinstripes. I got my eye on that one. That's probably going to end up being.
That's a badass.
That's going to be. That's going to show up on an episode of 420 Eats. I promise you that.
For sure. I tell you what, man, we've scooted through this podcast, and we still got a couple things to talk about. Like, I don't know, Pence and his son kind of getting caught up in something, but not really because nobody's paying attention to it.
You mean Biden?
Or excuse me, Biden, not Pence.
What happened?
The former VP, not the current VP.
I was like, what did I miss today?
Yeah, well, apparently Pence and his son went out and shot a game of golf today, and it was awesome.
That is all.
Biden and his son. And, you want to talk about stuff that's shady, that there's proof on camera.
Well, that just did. And tell me that's not a bird nest on the ground. You have a recording of you breaking the law that they use to accuse somebody that didn't break the law of breaking the law.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does that happen?
Because Democrat Party. I don't understand the just outright hatred. Even when Reagan was in office, they still respected these
office. Yeah. That's what my mom and dad at different times will each utter that very phrase right there. And how they both wondered out loud, what generation did that respect start to deteriorate to the end up that we're at the point we're at now?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can remember my dad hated Jimmy Carter. I mean, hated him. But he still respected the fact that he was the president of the United States.
Sure. He was our president.
Well, I didn't like when Obama was our president.
And I still respected the office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now it's just like, man, it's like a free-for-all. But, I mean, look, we could go on for a whole episode about that. I mean, there's no respect in the world anymore.
I had the pleasure of being in the military for 3 different presidents. I was in the military with Ronald Reagan, 4 years in the military with Reagan, 4 years in the military with Bush, and 1 year in the military with Clinton. And
could you tell a big difference from where you were?
Well, in the military, yes, because right after HW, you started seeing bases starting to close up, military installations closing up. You started seeing the old retirement system of if you retired from the military, you could still go to a military hospital and get treated. No more, ever.
No more. Yeah.
No. I got to witness a benefits change, which kind of, quite honestly, made me sick because, there's guys that had retired already, and then they went and kind of changed the rules of the game in the middle of it, and you can't, they couldn't grandfather all the old guard in to where they could go to a military base. And a lot of these people, stayed living right next to the military base they retired out of just because having those benefits was nice. You're able to go to the commissary or able to go to the exchange and buy things at a lesser price and not have to pay tax on it. And be able to go to the clinics and the hospitals and your dependents too. And then they changed the rules of the game and shut down half the installations with hospitals. And
that had to do with Clinton taking over.
Well, it started happening
after
around that time. Actually, it started happening about the last year of Bush. He was starting to get squeezed quite a bit for that. And I hated it, but I see it now. There's no reason to have an Air Force base in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right. Okay. Not only can use it for Space Force now.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Space Force. Nor is there any reason to have a naval base in Idaho. You can't pull a ship into Idaho.
Probably I'm just guessing.
Right. Now. So there's some obvious ones, but they've gone. They had one of the Navy's boot camps was in Orlando, and they had a big Navy military installation in Orlando, and they shut that down completely.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they shut down the Navy boot camp in San Diego. Now the only place to go to boot camp is in Chicago, Illinois, where, again, there's no aircraft carriers or big Navy ships. I
didn't know that. That's the only one?
Yeah, that's the only one they can go to boot camp. And then now being a corpsman or a medic, all those people go to the same school in San Antonio, Texas now at the Air Force Base. Everybody goes through the same exact